It's a philosophy of going the extra mile. It's the do unto others. It's part of our mission statement is to follow the golden rule, and that really breaks down to treating other people as you want to be treated, giving the kind of service that you want to give. People don't talk about average service. People only talk about really great service or really lousy service. We want our customers to talk about us, but we want them to talk about us, our great service. That's what we're trying to get them to talk about. Average service, nobody talks about. We want them to talk about our great service. And we do a lot of things. Our employees look for ways to kind of go over the top. And in this company, they're rewarded when they do that. I hope there's hundreds of examples out there, and I hope there are 100 more still to come.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll go to item 1, approval of the minutes of last week's meeting.
Minutes are okay.
Minutes are okay. Move in item number 2, second and final on ordinance 7413. This is fixing the ribbon formatting error relative to the residential roofing requirements. It's the decking. And this is where the map got itself on top of the table, and thus making the correction today. This is not actually changing any of the requirements or the standards of the building code.
It's correcting human error.
Correcting human error.
Mechanical error.
Hey, hello.
Technological error.
Item number 3, public hearing, proposed annexation, 240 acres, and this is one there to come. Next to last one, before tab number 4, you can see that area identified down in the corner of Sunset Hollywood. And this is the first of how many steps, Kelly?
This is the first of about 4 steps.
So they'll work this over the course of the next few weeks and ultimately have that added in. I'm glad to see again we're doing a large piece there for that annexation. I think the city owns a little 1 acre piece out of that over on the frontage.
When's the last time we did an annexation of this size?
Well, your last one was bigger than
Yeah.
this, and it was a full section north.
How long ago was that? Was it that big ago?
About 3 months
Was that big
ago.
at that time? I don't know.
It's a full section.
It was a full section minus the 2 car dealerships, the Toyota dealership, and is it Nissan now? What used to be the L2?
Would that have been possible?
Almost. Almost.
Who would have ever imagined that we'd be expanding out to Helium Road? Helium used to be.
For the record, today that's a county road, and we're real proud. But yes, it's, I think a lot of us, can remember when Coulter was a dirt road, and being in high school at the time, the first piece of Soncy was built. We all thought that was nothing but a drag strip. Couldn't figure out why it was out there.
I came from Georgia. That's the West Edge.
Really?
Well, we hear all kinds of it. I was back in the 40s.
See, he's 2 full miles in than you.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Chris used to drag racing on songs. Who's on that I knew went drag racing on songs? Yes. And I didn't know you, but I'm sure you'll learn.
Okay, and today, this is your public hearing and approval of a resolution that sets the dates and the times, and starts that process through. And Kelly, the first improvement going in up here is the apartment complex that's already working its way through the process.
Northeast.
Hmm?
In the southwest corner.
And that worked well. Developer wanted to get moving, signed all of the out-of-city water service stuff that includes your voluntary annexation agreement, and then followed right on top of that, beginning the process. Please, this one's working the way you'd like to see them all work. Okay, item number 4, resolution calling a public hearing. So we're setting the date for a public hearing to look at 4810 Mountain Drive and 3816 Northeast Ninth, and there are photographs provided. One of those is actually looking at the structure, and the other is looking at an accumulation stuff that we don't think ought to be here. Funny how lately all these seem to have a boat in the backyard. I don't know what year that is. It's a duck boat that's been by the gas.
It's a spaceship.
Spaceship.
Any questions on your resolution setting the date? I just have to call out this date.
July 23rd.
23rd, 3 p.m.
Good, so y'all put that in the description.
Yeah, we did last time. I apologize for that falling off.
But you did put the rest of it.
Mhm. We'll get the
Well, and
date.
Francis and I had that conversation, so if we were going to put the date in this one, I know we do it on the other one, so
No, we need to do it on
we
this.
will do it on all of these.
I'll just, that's mine, and I'll just send it
Okay. Good deal. Remove any and all else. Okay. Item number 5, resolution between the city and the Texas Department of Transportation. This is phase 1 of moving the water and sewer lines for the Southeast Loop project. And $135,000, about 80% of which will be reimbursed. I know we've looked at and talked about this before. This is the smallest piece of that project relative to the city. We estimate up to about another $3.5 million as that project continues to move to the east. It has to be done in phases. We can't begin to get our right-of-way and to move stuff until, of course, TxDOT has theirs and begins that process. And then Emmett and his staff are working with them, maybe not daily, but pretty close to get this done. This movement is fully funded within your existing budget, so we don't have any concerns or issues there. As we move forward, you'll see some capital projects being reallocated towards this 3.5 that's coming in the future, and probably some new money budgeted towards it, but that'll all come out of water and sewer. Questions? Great project. Just we've got some mainline infrastructure out there that has been there for a long time and was fine. But as we split that and get your two-way divided highway with controlled access, it's going to require us to move a lot of stuff.
And thanks to the partnership with TxDOT, it's been funding most of it. Yeah, I mean, that's always something to know.
Very important. I don't think we'll get that level of reimbursement on the remainder of it, but absolutely, any of that helps. When the rules about being in those right-of-ways have changed over the years. Good. Moving right along, we'll move to the consent agenda. Consent item A, asbestos abatement contract, what are now called the Prana buildings, what we've historically called building 5105 and 6105. These are over on the east ramp of the airport. They're the two small wood frame buildings that were actually classrooms when the Air Force used the base, and then ultimately became the drafting department for Bell Helicopters when they were here the first time, and have been vacant ever since. They are included in that master lease arrangement we have with the Prana Group, and one of the conditions thereof was that we abate those and remove them. There were 4 more. At one time there were a total of 6. There's only 2 left. The Army Corps of Engineers over the years had taken the other 4 out. But the way that the deeds worked back when the Air Force Base came over to the city, any of the properties that the city used at any time for profit or for revenue generation, the Corps would not thus come in later and remediate. So they did the first 4 because they were never leased, and then these 2 have been sitting for now almost 30 years. Questions on that? These buildings contain a substantial amount of asbestos. That 87,000 looks expensive. It's actually a very good bid. It's actually a very good bid. Asbestos continues to come down. There's so much competition there that didn't used to be.
Well, there you are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bidders.
Yeah, and we're used to seeing two.
Yeah, maybe.
Good.
A lot of money. They are working out there cleaning that area up. I think they've got some big plans for it. Of course, same group's working with them at Amarillo College. Item B, site lighting improvements at City View Park. Install 14 lights across the 2,200 linear feet of the walking trail out there. This is pretty simple.
I just love our English language site, which is location and site to see. Because you could misinterpret the whole thing there. Site.
I've always been thankful for my first language, because it's very confusing.
Oh, I've got
Because I'm not smart enough to learn it.
It's certainly not a formula-based language. Any questions on the lighting for City View?
Those people have been very happy out there. They're really pleased with the improvements the last 2 years.
Rod and his staff are, really making dramatic improvements. Of course, I still think our showpiece is what was done in Hamlet over the last few years.
Yeah.
And the changes out there. It's been fun sitting up here with the telephone on the desk. The neighborhood really, really appreciated it, really liked it.
They're out there.
Hamlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one isn't finished yet.
So they were having too many problems.
They weren't, but it's totally changed the character of that area.
Every day in the summer, there's dozens of kids out there every day. It's great.
You just think Memorial, different, but Memorial Park is just, really, the splash pad there is so popular.
Well, you weren't here, was it last week? The gentleman that lives across the street was.
Yeah, that was
2
good.
weeks.
Week
That was
before
2
last,
weeks,
I was
okay.
there.
Problem to have, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, it is, because for years, the only major activity was over there